So this is where I live, in a duplex, a strata system, as we call it here in Australia, amongst a complex of other duplexes and units. I wanted to make this video to show my garage workshop, where I do a lot of my woodworking, and just explain how I'm able to do that, one, in a small space, and two, whilst also abiding by the strata laws that we have that govern these strata systems we live in. My shop is set up in my single car garage. It's a slightly larger garage than what everyone else has because my unit is a disability unit. I needed to be able to use it for my car, my gym, storage and woodworking. So to maximise storage, I've put as much on the walls as I can using a French cleat system. I do find that there is never enough wood storage options, however. In these shelves, I keep some offcuts, paint, concrete, and my table saw. I left some space on the shelf as an overflow workspace that I can use when there's no room left on my workbench. So this is my main workspace and tool storage area. Everything on the wall with the French cleat system, as best as I can get it. This workbench I made, that's my planer there that I can pull out and use on top of the workbench. It's very heavy. I just get by with a basic bench vise that I put some magnets on the inside of the jaws to stop them from damaging my woodwork pieces. This is the view when my car's put away. You can see how much space I've got to work with. I still get by with that. On the garage door there, I've got some insulation panels that I had put in professionally, and I put some insulation in the roof of the garage also, so that I could work in there when it was summer and winter, and it's really quite comfortable. In fact, it's the most comfortable room in the whole house now because it's insulated so well. These are some cupboards I built and put on the walls. I just got some plywood to make and used it to make the doors. Put a few magnets inside the doors to hold them shut. Inside the cupboards, I made a few little wood caddies to hold all the other bits and pieces, dowels, all the other woodworking tools, drill bits. There's a box I made to put all my spanners in. And there's all the bits and pieces you'll find in the garage: rope, twine, everything. I built this cupboard so that I could have some more storage, and also to put my small TV on top so that I could have a nice little entertainment area, watch TV while I'm working in the garage, because sometimes I spend most of the day in there. So here's just another view of all my tools up on the wall. When I'm working at home, I try and do most stuff by hand to keep the noise down for the neighbours. If I had a choice, I'd love to live on a nice property with lots of land and trees and no neighbours for miles, and then I could work away woodworking at all hours using all my power tools, no problem. But in this high density, medium density living, I have to be more careful with how I do the woodworking that I do. This is a cupboard I built and put on the wall. It just holds all my drills, jigsaw and nail gun and other bits and pieces. And there's just where I keep some clamps. and other garage bits and pieces. You can see here, I've got these retractable caster wheels on my workbench. So I can put the car out of the garage and wheel that workbench wherever I want. Put the table saw on there, the planer, whatever. I could use my garage as a complete proper woodwork setup, and I could buy more tools, bandsaws and whatnot. The reason I don't go all out is, well, because I can't make that much noise in a strata. It's my gym there. I've also got a local woodwork club really close by to where I live that has all the top equipment, your table saws, planers, sanders, router tables, everything. So if I really want to get into some woodwork and make a lot of noise and a lot of dust, I'll just go into the woodwork club. It's on once a week. So I kind of use my home workshop just as a compensatory woodworking shop to do all the things I can do in the week when I'm not at the woodwork club. What you see here is an example of a bylaw relating to noise and nuisance. It's not my strata bylaw, but it's pretty similar. But there are times when I don't get into the woodworking club and I really want to get some woodwork done here at home and I have to use the power tools or the table saw. I do have some ways I've figured out how to keep the noise as minimal as I can. So I was thinking I'd need to soundproof my garage. I was looking at all these ways to try and get soundproofing so I could do woodwork in there and not annoy the neighbours. But it was going to cost a fortune to do it really well. So in the end, what I came up with is I've got a very large bathroom because it's a disabled unit. And it's the most internal room in the house. There's no windows. It's like a room sort of tucked away in the center of the house. It's really big. So what I do is I wheel my table saw in there or the planer or whatever I've got to use. I've even used the circular saw in there. And I'll do my woodworking in there. I'll shut it up nice and tight and have the dust vac in there hooked up to the tools. And it works really well. I've measured the sound outside the house when I do this, and you can't hear anything. It's really great. It's as though I was doing woodworking just in a room in my house that was really well soundproofed. So while I would like to completely kit out my garage as a fully fledged woodworking space with all the dust extraction and all the tools that come with it, it's not really viable for me to do it because I'd never be able to use it as much as I want to because of the noise. And so just doing little bits in my bathroom and getting along to the woodworking club to do most of my woodworking that requires power tools is how I get by and make things. So that's a tour of my little setup here. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.